Alrighty. Hello, everyone. Incredible greetings. How are you guys doing? I'm not going to be on super long. I'm just trying to kill time. We were supposed to go to see How to Train Your Dragon at 12. We got out of here too late. We would have missed previews and all the rest of that stuff by the time we got there. So we moved it to 3. And so we're leaving out of here at like no later than like 2:15 because they're playing games. So I was like, okay, well, let me do a quick fire, 30-minute quick fire. Come on, just to kind of kill time here. So yeah, I figured let's just hop on and answer questions, have a little chit chat about some things and what nonsense before we head off to the movies. So hello. Incredible greetings. I need to check the status of my live video. Okay, yep, it is. So hello. It is going to friends. Hold on. Incredible greetings. There we go. Turn that off. Welcome in, guys. Huh? Oh. All right, I thought MJ was talking to me, but he's not. Let me share out the 365 Creative Academy one. Oh, wait a minute. Wrong May. Let me go back. Oops. Go back. And switch. Hello. Let me know. Let me know once you guys are on. Drop a hey, how you doing? Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what you do in the creative space. And I'm going to share this out. Let me turn this down some. And share. Ooh, excuse me. All right, I'll share it out. All right, so just kind of go ahead and do my little quick intro. I am Shakia, the professor of HS Inc. 365. We are the home of the Honesty Speaking brand of products. We carry the absolute best summation paper and ink. Our summation paper allows you to sublimate as low as 365 degrees, as fast as 30 seconds. We are also the home of Silhaholics Anonymous, where we teach you how to learn and master Silhouette Studio and the Cameo machines. Now, when it comes to Silhouette Studio, you don't have to have a machine in order to use Silhouette Studio. Silhouette Studio is a pretty decent standalone graphic designing software, especially for beginners. If you're not wanting the commitment of paying monthly for programs like Photoshop or Canva, there's a lot of things that you can do within Silhouette Studio and being able to manipulate different things and trace things. And there's just a whole lot. Like you can make invitations, you can do party favors, you can do things for sublimation, you can set up your DTF prints, you can set up prints for laser cutting, you can set up like vectorizing things that you can have it digitized for embroidery. There's so much that you can do from Silhouette Studio, even without ever cutting anything to any machine. And I have been teaching people how to navigate that software for 10 years now. We also are the home of 365 Creative Academy, where we help you to unlock your creativity in a wide variety of trainings, everything from phone board creations, party favors, learning how to make all of the different things like for grass season, yard signs, stoles, tumblers. We have sublimation seminars, and so much more. So that's all within our 365 Creative Academy. We just have a plethora of classes that you can learn from. We also have business classes if you're into this for entrepreneurship, learning how to price, your mindset for business, all of those different things we have available for you. I have been doing live videos for 10 years. And the main thing within mine is, even though I have classes and you guys still sign up for them, I like just kind of showing up. I make time to kind of come on, answering those questions. Sometimes I catch people like right when they're about to pull out all of their edges because something that they are working on is frustrating the crap out of them. They cannot figure it out. Or maybe, hey, you figured out a workaround, but you have questions like, I want this to work smoother next time. I don't want to go through this headache. So can you help me out? Are you able to provide any type of help or guidance so that I'm not losing my mind the next time that I do this? So I like kind of coming on spontaneously, catching guys and being able to help you in real time. So all it takes is for you to share it out, tag a friend, ask your questions. When I'm doing these, I'm not really coming on in a teaching capacity. I've taught so many things over 10 years. You name it, I guarantee I probably have a video somewhere that I can direct you to. So even if your question isn't answered in this video, but you have a question or something that you're wanting to learn, we either have a class or we do have a video on one of our 3 YouTube channels. So if you're watching the playback, feel free to just kind of, put in the comments if there's something that you're wanting to learn. And if you want to know if we have resources that we can direct you to help you learn that thing, even if you're not like on the live video to ask questions right now. But my time is limited, guys. So don't hesitate. If you're sitting in the background, like, I just love all your content. But if no one asks any questions, y'all just gonna sit here and just look at my nicely beat eyebrows. For 20 minutes because, like I said, I am on a time crunch because we're going to go to the movies. So hopefully you guys are going to be quick with the draw and actually post questions and things of that nature so that this actually has some substance to it. So let me go over here. Hey, Tiana, how are you? Hey, Javaya. Welcome. Thank you guys so much for the likes and the thumbs up. Appreciate it. All right. So if no one has any, hopefully questions come in. Because I kind of want to start another platform, but then I'm probably going to just do that one like pre-recorded so I don't feel like I'm talking to myself, because it's like me having insight or just like my thoughts and stuff on different things. Like right now, what's trending, and a lot of people are making money off of it because they're making content around it. It's my girl B Simone and the whole, like, it's like 3 different like viral clips that's going around about that. And one of them in particular that kind of just stands out for me is the clip that people are recirculating about her, saying, I have to budget, I'm so tight with money, and people are making it seem like she's broke. But a lot of people also did not watch the full podcast. I actually watched the podcast. Like, I'm big on, I'd rather watch them. I don't really consume a lot of podcasts through the podcast platforms. I'm a visual person, so I like to watch them. And she was basically saying, she has to be tighter with her budget because she's doing a lot of things within entrepreneurship and business. Like, she has investments, she has assets, that she spent money on things that have value. And if she needed liquid cash, she can basically liquidate it, sell it, whatever, and get that. But she's also working on a really big business venture in setting up an app. When you're doing like these apps, it's not cheap to set them up. She has an app that's going to have like different like shows, whether it's podcasts, talk shows, however it's formatted. And there are people on those shows and they've recorded videos and they've done things already. These people have to be paid out. So our people are making it seem like she just out here like broke and she need to go get a 9 to 5 now because she made a comment about that. in entrepreneurship, like making those sacrifices, I've been through that as an entrepreneur. And because we wanted to be able to get certain things or do certain things within business, you become tighter in other areas so that those resources can go towards that. And this, to me, is just so many people that just don't understand business and entrepreneurship. And I'm looking at these comments and I'm like, yeah, you're the ones working 9 to 5 and you just don't understand what it's like in business and having to make those sacrifices. It's just that most people don't talk about them openly. Major companies do it all the time. I know you guys have seen where it's like, you'll see it on the news, XYZ company had this major layoff, like they were just laying people off left and right. But then they come back a couple months later and it's like, oh, well, now they have a new facility or they have this new thing, whatever. And it's about cutting the fat to be able to do something bigger. Like that money has to come from somewhere. So they will lay people off so they can free up that labor, even if it's just, you'll be surprised at like how much labor adds to the bottom line for a lot of companies. Like that's one of their biggest expenses. So even if you go and you lay off 10% of your staff and that's salary that you don't have to pay for even a month, for some companies that literally can free up hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars that they now put towards a certain venture. They will put the money towards that. Once that's up and running, now you still need staff members for that. Now they're going to go through a big rehiring or like a big job fair and things like that after they just lay people off. People are always like, how in the heck are you having a job fair? Why you lay all those people off? It's because they needed to free that up. It's a part of their budgeting. And these are things like big time business that people just don't understand, how these things work. So it wasn't like the girl was saying she had no money whatsoever. She said, it's tied up in assets, tied up in investments. She has real estate investments that she's put money on. It's like it's coming back in. When you work for yourself and what most people don't realize, if you have an LLC, you can't really have a W-2 where you're putting yourself on salary and things of that nature. You do what's called an owner's draw. And it's best if you kind of do have an agreement with yourself and your business, and it's like a set amount, whether it's a percentage based off of the revenue that you brought in, if it's going to be a certain amount for the year, and you're going to automatically have that as like a transfer from your business account to your personal account. So it's not a paycheck necessarily. And so what happens, all the money technically goes into like your business account. It's not really your money until you complete that owner's draw. So having just that liquid money isn't like, you don't always have that. You don't always, it's so many entrepreneurs that be like, I don't even pay myself. I'll make sure that my employees get paid, but I'm not getting paid from we're profitable, but I can't get paid. I got to pay my staff. I got to make sure that the upkeep and all the overhead of business, I'm taking care of that. And they have their livelihood from sometimes from other resources, like their investments and things like that. And while that investment is bringing in money, it's making sure that my rent or my mortgage is paid, my utilities are paid, my car note, my cell phone, buying, I can still buy outfits, but like she said, I can't go to Bloomingdale's to buy this. I got to go to H&M. Like I have to go somewhere where it's a little less expensive because I can't just splurge. I've been that way where, you have to just be tighter on it because you are making and you're setting yourself up for greater. Your money that you had to spend is going different places. I had times where it's small time, but I would be buying me a frappe. Like it's certain things that like are indulgences for me. And when we wanted to do certain things, hey, I can't do that. I have to sacrifice this. I'm going to put this towards our vacation fund. I'm going to put this. So I can't just go out and just splurge because, there's a greater thing at work here. And that's all she was saying. And I'm like, people are taking that so out of context because they just don't understand what it's like to be an entrepreneur. People really don't understand what it's like to be an entrepreneur. Hello, Jackie. Marvina. Hello, Miss Vanessa. Hello. Welcome. I'm just doing I was trying to do quick fire Q&A. I now have about 20 minutes left because me and the boys are going on our movie dates. We were supposed to go at 12, but we got out of here a little bit too late. And we've had to rush to get in there and trying to get like our snacks and stuff or popcorn and drinks. Even though we already ordered it, you still have to go through the line to like kind of pick it up and stuff. And we wouldn't have made it in time. So we switched it to the 3:00 movie. So I'm just killing time until it's time for us to go to the movie. So I figured I would hop on and I would just kind of do a quick fire as far as like answering questions that you guys may have. So the floor is open for you guys to ask any questions. If you're you're thinking about trying something new and you want my perspective on it. If you're wanting to know the differences between, different products. I was just on a call right before I, went live, and, we were discussing like DTV, and she was saying that, she had tried that. And while DTV, I'm not saying it's not a great product. I actually have some. That's the Caesar one. It wasn't this, oh, wow, this is game-changing type thing, because I had been making shirts using Jet Pro 3G. Both of them are the same. They are a principal transfer for darks. They do the same exact thing. It's a film with the emulsion layer. Well, actually, the ones for lights has emulsion layer, but it's like a white film. You're going to print onto it. You're going to use a cutter to cut it out. You peel it like it's vinyl. It has a transfer that you can use, and then you're going to put it on a shirt. Slight difference in DTV and like Jet Pro was DTV, it had an actual clear transfer, kind of like when you're doing eco-solvent prints, things like that, and you can put that down and transfer it. Whereas like Jet Pro 3G, you really couldn't, because it was like pressure sensitive and it was hard to release. But my workaround for that was I used heat tape. So you couldn't use like the clear one. I use heat tape. Most people don't realize that heat tape comes in different sizes. Hold on, my phone is all jacked up. Hold on. Now, we don't sell the 8-inch one on our website, but it was, most people didn't realize that heat tape didn't just come in that little skinny one. We personally sell 6 different sizes, from 1/2 inch all the way up to the 6-inch size. So I was using, like, there's one that's even bigger than this. So I would use ones like this, and I will put that across my Jet Pro 3G, and I'm able to transfer it. It doesn't lift up the ink or anything like that, but it's using the proper, like it. Of course, if someone says heat tape, most people in their mind was like, I'm not about to take those small strips and go across it. No one's going to do that. You get the right one. So like these two are from our company. It's a 4-inch and a 6-inch. And that's what I was using for like my principal transfers, where I could have little small, like I can have individual letters, but I'm able to transfer. It didn't have to just be one solid print. I think I may even have one of those shirts in here. Hold on, let me see if I have one of those. Whoa, in here. Or it might be in the hallway. Actually, no. Yep. This shirt right here, this is made with Jet Pro 3G. All of these individual letters, the pieces are not like, it's not just one big box. This is a solid cut, but all of this, the white and the colors, this is all done with printable transfers for darks, Jet Pro 3G. And I used heat tape to transfer it. So I know we were on there when she was like, there are some instructors that just kind of tell you like different ways. I never really talked a lot about the DTV because I use pigment ink printers. DTV does not work well with pigment ink. For DTV, you have to use a dye-based printer. I'm not a dye-based girl. Well, actually, I'm not going to say that. I prefer pigment ink for most things. I like matte papers and really good quality coated matte papers for most things. And pigment ink works out better for that. On Jet Pro, pigment ink works better on that. It doesn't run. Now, if you're doing something on like glossy paper, anything like glossy paper, like glossy photo paper, the glossy adhesive, like vinyl sheets and stuff like that, a dye-based printer would work, and it won't necessarily bleed because it's coated. I did a whole video about that, showing the differences between coated paper and non-coated paper. So I just did like these passports, and they won't run because this is a photo paper which is coated, but these were printed from my Canon printer to be able to make these. So I'm not going to necessarily say I just prefer pigment ink, like as my everyday type printing. I prefer pigment. And that's my large format printer is pigment. So if I was doing something small, I could use the 8.5-inch sheets of DTV on my Canon EcoTank. Well, it's not EcoTank, it's a Canon tank printer. I could use that, but I prefer to have larger sheets. Well, I can't put that in my printer that takes the larger sheets. So it's not like, I'm not gonna say one is better than the other per se, but it depends on like the printers and stuff that you have. So if you are somebody that has a pigment ink, which most people don't, because most of you guys love EcoTank printers and those are all dye based. If you had a pigment, Jet Pro or some of the other transfers for darks would work better than the DTV. But y'all will know that because y'all barely ask questions about the stuff that you're using. If you hear stuff about materials, different products, how can it benefit you? Do you need to get into DTF? What is the difference between DTF and DTG? These are all questions that anytime that I'm live and I'm saying that it's a Q&A and you guys can pick my brain, I have experience and I have knowledge about a lot of these things, and I normally can give you direction, give you the resources that you need to make the best decision for you. Because if you were to buy all of the stuff that comes up in all these different craft groups and creative groups, you'll be broke, for real, for real. So I'm always just opening up my platform to say, what is it that you need information on? Don't be afraid. No question is a dumb question. Or a silly question. What's silly is having somebody who is truly an industry expert, a subject matter expert in these things saying, I'm not even charging you to pick my brain, to get the answers. Unless you guys just love the excuse, oh, people gatekeep, but you're on platforms where someone is saying, hey, what questions do you have? And then y'all keep y'all lips closed. But I always say, you're more than welcome to ask questions. 10 minutes left. There's going to be no questions. All of you guys who are watching right now, everything is perfect in your creative life. Nothing, you're not looking to learn anything new. You're not looking to improve any processes. You're not looking to, if you're in entrepreneurship, you're not trying to figure out how to get more clients or customers. Everything, all your design programs, you guys are golden. That means you should not be online. Like, everything is working out for you. You should be working on your orders. They should all be, for me, this is business. This is a part of my business. This is how I extend my reach, and how how new people find me is I'm always like showing up online. I like to teach, so. All right, I'm not going for a show. Of course, I always share my knowledge, but it's like, what am I really sharing? Because people don't say anything. I don't know what's going on where no one say anything. So with pigment ink, how long does a transfer last? In the words of Cardi B, forever. I literally have shirt. This was made in either 2020 or 2019. One of those years is how long I've had this particular shirt. I have ones from my niece. My niece is now 11 and my mom wears her all the time. My cousin was like, they should see mine. She's like, because I'm always wearing mine. When we had hers, that she's 11 now. It was for her 6th birthday. It was Hello Kitty, and it looks like the day that I made it. Nothing is faded because pigment ink is water resistant. It will not fade when it gets wet. That's what I was talking to the DTV about. Hello, Erica. How are you? So nice to talk to you today. Thank you again. You're very welcome. I'm working on cruise t-shirts right now for yourself or for a group of cruisers. Oh my God. She got all the good candies. Oh my gosh, she got big blows. I need some big blows. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. A group. I have the front done with DTF, and now I'm working on the names for the back. Did you do the names in DTF, or are you doing them with vinyl? 6 minutes left. Vinyl, okay. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, welcome. You got about 6 minutes to get your question in. We're doing like a little quick fire. I'm going to the movies with the boys. The movie starts at 3. So we got to get out of here to get to the movies, get our drinks and stuff like that. We went and bought us some candy to take up in that mug. I'm not paying $6 for a dollar box of candy. But our popcorn and stuff and drinks and things like that will get there. So we got to make sure we leave so that we are not late like we were at 12 o'clock. I followed your video for making a clack fan template in Silhouette. How can I take that file to Photoshop and use it to create my mock-up? Okay, so you can either just follow the same thing like in Photoshop. to create like that so you can design in it. If you're just wanting like, okay, so to create your mock-up, are you designing it in Silhouette Studio and like putting all your stuff there, but you have a mock-up in Photoshop that you have that layer and you can put your image on it? Or are you wanting to, because you created the outline, you're wanting to take that so that you can design within that space? Also, so it's just the mock-up. Oh well, let's just create my mock. Okay, that was the next part of it. Okay, I'm waiting for you to respond back. Also, do you have business edition? Do you have business edition? Okay, so technically, what you can end up doing is like filling it with black, right? And then you're going to save it as a PDF file, and you're going to open up that PDF in Photoshop. You're then going to have to create a selection. Do you know how to make a selection in Photoshop? Because you're going to have to make that select, have that be like create that selection so that you can make the layer mask, or you can create that section where then you can do a clipping mask and you would just kind of like design within that space and manually rotate it. Or you can create just do the template in Photoshop. That way you can arch it and warp it and all those different things. So it just depends on what it is that you're wanting to do. I don't know. Do you already have like do you already have a mock-up that you purchased from someone and you just have to put the design on it? Are you using like displacement, like, because mock-ups can be very very tricky and they're different. Some mock-ups, it really looks like it's on the fan because you're going to have a Photoshop file where you're going to have just the plain fan. You're going to have a layer that is like a clipping mask. It's going to have maybe like a displacement layer where it's going to look like it's really a part of it. You have to then do your blend modes so that it's not like just solid on top. It's going to look like it's a true mock-up. So there's that way that you can do it, or you can do it where it really just looks like the design on top of a picture of it. Some people would do it that way, and you really can just put your design in it. You don't have to have the actual like fan part of it. All I've seen so many people where they're just showing the arch and the design is inside. They're not looking to make it look like it's on the actual fan, because there's a certain way that you have to set that up, but you have to have either working real knowledge of Photoshop and how to do that, or someone has to sell basically a file, a mock-up file or mock-up template where it's like place your design here. And once you place your design there, it looks like it's right on it and you can still see like all of the movement and it's not just imposed on top. So it all depends. You designed your mock-up from scratch. Okay, so is it just that you just want that shape and you just have the ribs, like you just made your own with like rectangles to look like a fan? No, I designed the image I want on the fan, not the mock-up. I want the image showing within the arch. So you're not okay. So that's all you're wanting. You just want it to be where it's a design inside the arch, not necessarily on an actual fan to look like it's like you printed already without having to print it. Okay, makes sense. So this is not an actual template. Like I don't know. Hold on one second. I'm gonna just switch over, present, share screen, share screen, share screen, share screen. Okay, so I'm just gonna go file, save as, save to hard drive. I'm gonna make this a PDF and fan test for PSD, delete me. File. Oh, wait. Did I put... Oh, shoot. Wait, did I? I think I forgot. Did I do PDF? I think I may have forgotten to put... No, I did because it didn't change up here. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go to here and open. And we're just going to hit OK. And so see, it's going to come in like this. If you hold down Control and click, it's going to create like that selection, right? So you can, oh, wait, wrong one. I'm going to go. Okay. So let's say I did this. I'm going to just duplicate this, duplicate layer to, what was the other thing that I was working on? Hold on. Oh, it's too big. It's too small for this. Okay. Let's just do it this way. I'm going to what the heck? Why won't you? Okay, so you see how this now shows like just this part, right? So you can do it one of two ways. Once you're designing, you can have like this is what's called a layer mask. Black conceals, white reveals. So it's only going to show what's inside of there. Let me do it this way where we're going to duplicate layer. Okay, so I had to get rid of the other one that was there first. Or I could have made that a smart object, and that would have made another layer with the fade on it. And then I would have had this one. So let's say, like, even right now, I'm going to go back. Let's go back. And let's say I wanted that faded. If I make that a smart object, it becomes like that. And then I can add this and it still does it. And I have the fade. I would have to go into the smart object to do it that way. So that's one way of doing it, to where you would just design regular, and then you could use the layer mask to then, you would use the layer mask to just show that part. So that's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it, which this one, I didn't want to do a layer mask. I'm going to do, come on, dude. Okay. The next I'm going to do, I'm going to just put a solid color. I'm going to make it where it's white. Okay. I'm going to rasterize this layer. All right. And I'm going to control click. So I have this one, but I'm going to come back to this layer and I'm just going to hit delete, right? That's going to leave an opening. So if I put this on top, I'm going to reveal this. I'm going to disable this mask, right? So if I turn this off, you see it's the full picture. But I'm going to put this on top where it's just masking that area off. So now if I come in, let's see, what do I have on here? All right, let's just say I'll take this one. I'm going to remove the background on it. And then I'm going to duplicate layer over to here. I'm going to come back over here. And I now need to shrink this down. And Control T. If I wanted to rotate it or whatever. So no matter where I move this at, it's looking like it's in the arch because of the layer that's on top right here. That's one way of doing it. You can also do a clipping mask, but with the clipping mask, you have to have all of your design, put that in a group, then put the arch on top, and then it will clip mask it to that group of things. Because if you do it just to the one layer, everything else will still show. It's just going to clip it to that one. So you would have to make all of your design stuff as like in a group, and then you would have to put the arch above that and then do a clipping mask, and it will kind of clip everything away, anything that's outside of that. So there's multiple ways of doing it. It's which way are you most comfortable with? Like, which one do you have a better working knowledge of? For some, this is probably the easiest way of doing it, where it's because, white doesn't print. So you would have the white around it. And without this, everything is just solid. This is just a layer mask on top. Like, it's like an overlay where you're only going to see what's in that opening. Make sense? You've been trying for 4 days. This is why I do these, where you can get your question answered instead of spending 4 days. Or you could have come into if you're on Facebook, well, you can also ask the question in the community tab over on Facebook, on YouTube. I tell people all the time, like, you have ways to access me and be able to ask these questions. If you guys ask your questions ahead of time, it gives me content to start these live videos off with. Okay. But next time, don't struggle for 4 days. You have a lifeline. Leave it as a comment in the community section. Come into our Facebook group, ask the question, when you see me on live, ask the question. Even if you have figured it out yourself, ask the question, because I might be able to show you an easier way of doing it. So watch this back and you're going to see two of the different ways. And I'll just show you what I mean as far as the last one. We're going to go, I'm going to put cancel. I'm going to put this up. Actually, we'll put this to right here and create clipping mask. Oh, wait, no, wrong way. Let me release clipping mask. I'm going to go like this and create clipping mask. This part here is faded. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to disable the layer mask. Say yes, and you'll see that it fills in everything. So the only reason why it was showing the black behind it was because it was technically faded. So it's showing the black from this. So you would do that and have the group and then do the clipping mask for that so that it fits in, like it'll clip to this shape. So like if I turn this one on, it's not clipped. If I go like this, it's behind, like it's not clipped, right? So if we go and I'm going to take these two, I'm going to, well, you see how this one, there's another clipping mask, so you can clip each one, or we're going to release clipping mask on those. I'm going to group these together, and then we will, hold on. So they become a smart object, and you would design within the smart object. And now you take that and like that whole group and you make it a clipping mask. So all of it is clipped and not doing it one by one. So that's that. All right. Oh, no, not gonna be late. I've got the other. Y'all, let's go. All right. So thank you so much for your question. And I think you had another one. How do I feel about, oh, that was someone else. Simply Imperfectly Perfect. How do you feel about UV DTF on Libby cane glass over sublimation? They serve two different purposes. UV, if you're doing it like truly customized, if you're not someone that's printing UV DTF yourself, getting those individual prints are a little bit more pricey. It comes out better when you're getting a gang sheet. It's not too many places that will do like the individual. If you can find a place that's going to do the individual designs for you, then, you know, let's say you're making one specifically for someone's like graduation, or you have someone's name on it. You have to find a company that's going to print out that UV DTF print just for that. Normally it's like on a gang sheet. So you have to have all of your designs ready and you're going to put it on there. It's really easy, simple to do. It has a different feel on it. And it's opaque, right? So it's not going to be translucent. There's white behind it. When you're looking at it, you're going to see the white ink like on the other side. But if you're doing sublimation, it's translucent. So I don't feel like one is a preference over the other, like one is better than the other. What is your preference? What are you designing? If it's just random stuff, like let's say back to school teacher, someone has transfers that you can buy individually that has like teacher stuff on it, do that. It's going to be quick. It's going to be fast. But for customized things, it can be a little bit more time, not say time consuming, but it's like a couple more steps, and it might be a little bit more expensive to get custom wraps made that's like personalized and things of that nature. But I don't think one is better than the other. I do sublimation. I've used some of the UV DTF because I just got random ones from Florida Flexible. Okay. All right, y'all. Do I have Photoshop classes? I absolutely do. So our Essentials to Photoshop breaks down all of these different things. Before you get into like designing, it's important to understand how the program works. And then you'll have opportunities where, okay, now that you understand this, this is where questions like this comes up. How do I now take this knowledge and apply it to what I am doing? But I teach all of these things about layer mask, about grouping, and why you have to do it this way, when you have to make it a smart object. All these different things is in our Essentials of Photoshop, where you're truly learning what all the essential tools do. Okay, so that's on our website. All right, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.